All right, so today we are pruning our fruit trees. These are the pears. We'll be starting with those. I will do a video on each. This row here are pears. The next row is apples. The following row is also apples. I don't know if you can see them there, but there's two older ones that were here when we bought the property. And on the other side of that, we have peaches and plums. This is an orchard that I had planted 4 or 5 years ago now. I don't recall when we bought the property. So these fruit trees are, probably about 6 years old because they're typically about 2 years old when you plant them from pots. So yeah, we did have an incident a few years ago where we had goats and they got out and the male goats just like put a hurting on my orchard. And so needless to say, we no longer have those goats. But anyway, they rubbed them with their horns and then they stood up on them and chewed them and just, they ruined a few, but the other ones that just stunted them for a few years. So they're, looks like they're finally starting to bounce back. But anyway, here today, getting the pruning done. I typically like to do this in the dead of winter. I think that's the best time to do it. But I missed that window this year, so trying to do it now before we get into spring. We want to try and do it when the tree is still dormant, which it is. But today we have a beautiful day here in central Pennsylvania. It's actually 70 degrees, so I need to get after it, get this done. So yeah, typically what you're looking to do is any diseased or broken branches, you want to get them off. Anything that's touching, you want to cut off. Anything that's growing into the center of the tree, you want to take that off to try and maintain good airflow through it. And then we will just take off a little bit more probably to clean it up a little bit and just to keep it nice and symmetrical and growing the way that we want it to. But yeah, that's what we're looking to do here. Anything that's pointing straight up, growing straight up, we want to get rid of that. But like you said, this tree is probably the nicest pear tree we have. It's the only one that wasn't affected by the goats that year. And so it is really nice. I've chosen to do the modified central leader method on the pears and apples. And then I do the open center on the plums and the peaches. So with this being a modified central leader, it is tall. I try to take off no more than like a third of the height of the top branch up there. So just to keep it to where it's manageable. Anyway, what you need is some hand shears. I got a couple of sets of hand shears for the smaller branches, and then for the bigger branches, we have these pruning clippers here, and then I have this set that is these ones extend out so that I can get up there to the higher branches. So it's nice to have a few different tools to get this done, but essentially all you really need is a set of clippers like this and some hand shears. So like we said, starting with anything that is diseased or broken, that's the first thing that I look for, which is that. Um, Anything that's touching, I see this here is touching, so I'm going to take that off. And when you make these cuts, you want to do it as flush as you can to the branch, and you want to cut them on a slight angle so that it's not flush to where the water will sit and cause disease. So something like that. We'll probably take off this. Now again, anything that's growing towards the center of the tree, you want to get that out of there. Anything that's growing straight up, we want to take that off. Now, I don't like to take too much off of them. Take this one. Now in this, I'm going to keep this because I don't know what's going to end up happening with this one. That's got a little bit of a gnarly knot right there. So I don't want to take both these sides off just in case, because this is the other side of my central leader. This is the modified side. So I'm going to let this go another year just to see how this one does. I may ultimately end up taking this one off, and if I do, then I would also take off that one, but there's no need to rush this from year to year. So we're not going to worry about that this year. I do think I'm going to go ahead and take that off because it just doesn't seem like it's going to contribute much to the tree overall. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. Get that out of there. We'll go ahead and take this guy off. This guy. Now see this one, I have this main scaffolding branch, and then I have this one up here. So I think I'm gonna take this one because it's getting a little crowded right here in this area. So I think I'll take this one out. That way we still have this one coming off. We still have this one. I just think that this one here isn't going to be doing us much good. So I'm going to go ahead and take that one off. And again, this is where you don't want to take too much off the tree. You really shouldn't take, I think they say no more than 1/3 each year. I don't even do that much. Just really trying to clean it up and keep the shape of it how I want it. So that's pretty much it for the main branches. I'm gonna have to probably get, I don't know if this will reach up there or not. I'm gonna have to get a ladder over here to hit these higher branches, but might be able to reach in here. So a couple of these here I can see, I don't want that one. I'm gonna take this off. Like I said, on these ones up here, you don't want to take more than a total of 1/3 from up here. So I'm gonna probably go up to about right. I'm gonna take this off. there I have an outside pointing bud in the direction I want it to go. So I'm going to take that one off there around the tree and do this on all your scaffolding branches. I think this one would be right there, right there, there. Take that off. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. All right. I think that looks pretty good. And that's it. Like I said, I don't like to take too much off, but it is good to clean them up each year and to get at least, you know, all the dead, broken branches off. Anything that is growing in towards the center of the tree, you want to get rid of that. Anything that's growing straight up in the air, get rid of that. Anything that's growing off the bottom, you want to get rid of that. You want to keep a focus on your main scaffolding branches. When you trim them, just find yourself the new growth and then an outside facing bud and then clip it there. This one I think I missed. No, I got that. Okay, so yeah, and then just work the way your whole way around the tree, doing that on all of those. I did miss this one, so we're gonna go ahead and take that off right there, and this one there. I think I got everything else. Oh, missed this one. Oh, we're gonna let that one go because I think that's good actually. All right, so yeah, gonna call that tree good. Now I may ultimately end up taking out like this branch, but I don't want to do that now because if something would end up happening to my main central leader, I want to make sure I have options on my modified side. So like I said, I mean, as the tree grows and it gets bigger, I'll be able to tell what's going on a little bit more, and then I can take off these bigger branches to get the tree how I want it. But for now, there's no sense in taking too much off. As long as things aren't touching and there's adequate airflow, you should be good. Up in here, normally I would have taken this branch off, but because this one has a knot and it kicked it out to the other side, I'm probably not gonna do that. Just see what happens here. But ultimately, either this branch would go or the one on the main leader, the central leader there that's close to it, that one would go. But I'm just gonna let them both go for this year because it's not gonna hurt anything, and simple as that. So that's pruning a pear tree. So like I said, I'll be doing the, we did the pears today. We will be doing the apples in another video, the plums in another video, and the peaches in another video. So if that's something you're interested in, please subscribe to the channel and we'll see you there.